Oh, little Chewy.
Gotta make the funny
Let me get a video of it. Why?
Get down.
Is that BBA?
Can we get the picture with the Aaron over there?
Several mediums. In print, he is an author of numerous books of fiction and nonfiction. On audio, he has recorded several musical and spoken word albums. On screen, he is an Emmy and Golden Globe award-winning actor whose body of work includes over 200 film and television credits, which include T.J. Hooker, Boston Legal, The Unexplained. To many, his signature role is a captain on Star Trek. To some, he is the captain on Star Trek. GalaxyCon Raleigh, please welcome back Mr. William Shatner.
You can always assess how successful something is. And T.J. Hooker, rescue 911, woo! I'm delighted. Even a few voices is enviable. This shot is the shit. Oh dear. Okay. Hey, that's a large crowd of people. I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. Sometimes I have a story, like for example, North Carolina. I just met the governor. No, he's fabulous. Who voted for him? Hands up. Who didn't vote for him? Hands up. Why didn't you vote for him? I want to hear why you didn't vote for the governor. What's wrong with the governor? He's a wonderful guy. He's got great ideas, forward-looking ideas. Anyway, I met the governor. I met his brother. You know, his brother's a well-known judge, distinguished man. He looks like a judge, his brother. Gray hair, tall, speaks very quietly. I hate judges who go, like, remember Judge Ito? No, none of you know what I'm talking about. The O.J. Simpson. That wasn't an elegant, distinguished judge. This is an elegant, distinguished judge. Judges. It's a tough job. I mean, you know, I talked to him about Solomon's solution to a tough decision. Cut the baby in half. What does a judge do? How does a judge judge the behavior of other people and say, you know, you're going to jail for life or something? Because it's one thing, you know, you kill somebody and it seems obvious, you know, it's obvious you killed them and you gotta go away because you're a destructive person. When it's in that nether region, like, you know, whatever is not quite, you don't quite know whether it's justice or what should you do about that person whose behavior is, it's a tough job. What's your question? Don't read it, know it.
Okay, all right.
You got the costume on, looks good, you're looking good in the costume.
Thank you.
All right, what's your question?
Okay, my question is going to be the motion picture related. It's my favorite Star Trek film. I was wondering, do you have a memorable story to tell about the production of that film?
Which film?
The motion picture?
Oh, the motion picture. Well, yes, I do. I could tell you something. Would you like to hear a story about it?
I sure would.
You know, they have done a job on it. They've recut it. We've re-edited the motion picture. Did you know that? Well, you don't know because you're asking me a question about it. So, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. It's a good place to start. So, it took about 6 or 7 years before they decided to make a motion picture. The reason they decided to make a motion picture was because Star Wars, which was 20th Century Fox, I think, another studio other than Paramount, started Star Wars and made billions of dollars. Can you imagine the boardroom of Paramount Studios? They're sitting around saying, "They've made millions! What do we got?" And I think somebody delivering the coffee said, you know, that thing was on the air, this Star Trek thing, why don't you do that? And the boardroom must have said, So they thought, you know, we'll do Star Trek, and we'll do the same, we'll make as much money as Star Wars. So they approached this great director, Robert Wise, and they said to Robert Wise, "Would you like to do Star Trek?" And he went, "What?" It's true, he had never heard of Star Trek. He goes home at night and he sees his wife and he says, "They've asked me to do Star Trek. I don't." And she says, "Are you crazy? I love Star Trek," she says. So he says, "Okay, I'll do it." He decides to do it, and he begins to work on the script, and then there's a strike. So the time that we could work on the show was limited. Start filming, and there's all kinds of difficulties. And Robert Wise was responsible for great movies like, which? The Sound of Music. What else? That's it? Your son gets Sound of Music? West Side Story. Okay. So I'm a big time director. And now big time Star Trek. But all these delays kept it from being precise, especially the special effects. So there was, who did the special effects in the movie? Who did the special effects in the movie? Dexter? Trumbull. What's your name, sir? What? Eddie? Eddie. There's 17 Eddies here. There's also a stream of water that has an eddy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Ed Buddy? Munt? Mud. I don't care. So, where was I? Hell, Eddie, where was I? Special effects. So, Doug Trumbull is assigned, they went to ILM, International Light and Music or something like that, but was the premier special effects house. But they were busy doing Star Wars. So They got Doug Trumbull, who was new at it. He was a genius, but his genius was just starting. It wasn't at its full flower on Star Trek. So Doug Trumbull works on the special effects, but the director needs to edit that. Needs to say, well, this is part of what I'm telling the story, this is not part of it. But Bob Weiss never sees the special effects because everything else is delayed, the special effects are delayed, and nobody knows what to do with the special effects, and the special effects is new. We have an opening date that the cast goes to Washington, D.C., and is sitting in a theater, a movie theater, and the guy from Paramount with the film under his arm comes running in and they string it up and they play it. And so it wasn't as edited. It wasn't as edited as it could have been, as Robert Wise wanted to, who was himself an editor. So what they've done now, and in fact, the movie didn't make as much money as they expected, and the head of Paramount Studios goes back to home. I'm being pursued by a tiny fly, and I think it's Doug Trumbull, special effects of a fly, and he, the head of the studio, goes back to his wife and says, I don't know, the Star Trek thing didn't make enough money. I'm just going to stop. This apparently is true. And his wife says, are you crazy? It's the best thing I ever saw, and you can't stop it. So he decides to give it to the television department and spend far less money than the movie department spent. So Star Trek continued. So you could say that the Me Too movement began the rest of Star Trek, because the wives were instrumental in it. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You got it? Okay. And by the way, that's coming out again. The movie is going to be released soon in a new edited form. Again. Oh, the movie of Star Trek is coming back out, and three people go, ooh, ooh.